Hello and welcome back. In this episode, what we want to discuss is manual HTML coding. We know that a browser looks at a text file that has HTML code in it and portrays what the browser sees in that text file. That text file has an extension of .htm, .html, .php. It just depends on what that file is. However, for our discussion, we use HTML. We know that there are many ways to encode a page. We can do it in a manual text editor. We can do it in a design environment, in a GUI environment, in an HTML editor, WordPress, PowerPoint. A lot of packages have a way of outputting their product as HTML. We also know that once you create those web pages, they have to be pushed up to a website, a server. Generally speaking, that's done via FTP. And once again, there are a lot of ways to do FTP. There's command line FTP, there's Windows FTP, there's freeware and shareware FTP packages like Qt FTP. There are design environment FTP packages like Dreamweaver's FTP Site Manager, Microsoft's Essential FTP package, on and on and on. The point that we're trying to make is that the creation of a HTML text file doesn't matter how you get there as long as you get there. The putting a file onto a web server so browsers and the public can see that web page doesn't matter how you get there. There's lots of ways to get there, and that's what we're going to show now. So let's start out by creating a very basic web page. So I'm going to open up my Notepad. What is Notepad? Notepad is a very basic text editor. That's all it is. You can write notes, you could write HTML pages. I can even write a program to be compiled from a microprocessor starting out with a simple text editor. So let's talk about that. What do we know about most HTML pages? They need a wrapper. There's our wrapper. What else do we know about most HTML pages? They have a head section. And what else do we know about most HTML pages? They have a body section. Alright, so what normally goes in a head section? SEO information, in an administrative sense and a support sense of the web page. So in here, why don't we put in a title box, a title bar. Real good. Okay, so let's call this manual code creation. And that's our title for this web page. And in here, let's type in Hello World Wide Web. There we go. Very simple web page. Let's save that. Now I already know that I have a website structure set up. So let's go ahead and save that as index.html. I already know I have one there. I showed you it was blank, so let's just save that again. And let's close that. And now here is our manually created web page. There we see it on my development computer in the hard drive. Hello Wide World Web. But if we go to our website, it still isn't there. So how are we going to get it from my hard drive to the website? We have to use an FTP process of some sort. Again, there's command line, there's Windows, there's GUIs. So let's show a very simple way to do this. Computer. Now here we're used to seeing our standard Computer Explorer. Let's go ahead and map a network drive. And if we notice down here, it says connect to a website that you can use to store your stuff. Cool. Let's connect to one. And this is a wizard telling us we're connecting to a network location. And we're going to choose a custom network location. And the first thing that we're going to tell it is that we want to do this by FTP. Now, let me put in the server name of my FTP server. Cool. Do I want to log in anonymously? No, I don't. So let me put in my username for my FTP account, and we're going to call this name for this network is training website, and we will click next, and we'll finish it. Okay, now as it goes to hook up, it will say, wait a minute, you need a password, so we'll put that in. Oh, I remembered my password from when I did the demo earlier. Okay, well, it would have asked me for a password, and I saved it. So, my bad. At any rate, let's take this window and shut it down a little bit. And by the way, we can go ahead and close this window now. And then let's go to where I store my web files on my computer. And there we have it. And if we look over here, this is my hard drive. There's my file. Let's copy it, Control C, and let's dump it over here to my website. Control V. That's a pesky little window. We don't want it, but yes to all. Voila! It worked, didn't it? Beautiful. Magnificent. Now, that is the very fundamental. We created a website page with a text editor. We used Window as an FTP media, and we pushed it right to the website. Alright, let's take that demonstration one step further. Let's open up our web page. And let's go back to our handy dandy head section, and let's put in link href equals, and we'll put in demo.css. Got that right? And then we'll tell the relationship to this particular file is a style sheet. And we will tell it that the type of file that is a text CSS file. And there we go. And let's save that. Now, let's call this a division. And we can see that the GUI editors pop these in, but I'm just doing this manually. Class equals demo. Okay, let's go ahead and save that. Now we see here that our style sheet is demo.css. So let's create a new file. File, save as, and we got to go back there to demo.css. Save that. And how about if we just say div.demo, open our braces, close our braces, and we say color is red, and we save that. Let's close that. Now, if we refresh our hard drive, we can see the letters are all red because our style sheet worked. So let's go back over to our handy dandy website. Let's get index.html and demo.css, and let's drag them over here. And it says it's working, but what's going on there? Let's just, there we go. And we refresh the website, and we can see now that all the letters are red because the cascading style sheet did work. So what does that tell us? It tells us that we don't have to have expensive tools just to create a website, that this does work very nicely. And to summarize, what we did there was we manually created code for a web page. We manually created the code for a style sheet, and then we used Windows Latent Web FTP interface, and we loaded our file to our hosting server. And that's all there is to it. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.